Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello and welcome to the Young Entrepreneur Show. I'm your host, Yvette Adams. Today we're going to meet another amazing young entrepreneur, and her name is Briella Brown. Welcome to the show, Briella.
Hi.
Hi. So we've called this turning a passion for fashion into a working business, and that's literally what you've done. I took a look at your LinkedIn profile, and your career, even though you're only 21, is fashion, and more fashion.
Yeah, it's like since I was young, I always knew I wanted to be in fashion. I just wasn't sure of what aspect. So and when I left school, I kind of fell into your closet, but I always knew I wanted to work in retail or something like that.
Yeah, so let's go back to the start. When you were young and you say you like fashion, were you that kid that dressed up in mum's clothes and did fashion parades, or what was the evidence of the interest in fashion?
I always really liked high-end clothing
Okay.
and really fancy dresses and things like that. So I would always buy Harper's Bazaar instead of Girlfriend magazine when I was super young. And all my family knew that I was kind of destined to enter some kind of fashion career in the future.
Yeah, and could you study fashion at your school or?
Not really. So at high school, we didn't really have any element of fashion. We could do design, but I'm not very creative in that sense. So I didn't study really any in high school.
And you left school at 17. You were quite young for finishing your final year, and you did actually start some uni and then drop that, didn't you?
Yeah. So I started a media degree at UNSW and a creative direction degree at Whitehouse at the same time, and did those for 2.5 years, and I got really close to finishing, but I started your closet a year into my course, and it was fine balancing both for a while, but eventually your closet just got too busy, which is a really good thing, I guess, and I just put the uni's degrees on hold for the moment.
Okay, was that an easy decision, and how did it go down with the parents? Did they say that's fine, or was there a bit of resistance there?
It was super easy because I was just learning so much from the business, way more than I ever would have from the uni degree. So I was doing a PR degree at the time, basically. So media, specialising in PR. And I was writing essays about the history of PR and things like that, which was so irrelevant.
And just wanted to get on with it.
Yeah, so for the business, I was actually having to pitch and get things in the media and things like that. So it was teaching me so much more, and it was a lot practical. And Dad started his own business 29 years ago, so he understands how much you can learn from a business. He was really relaxed about the putting uni on hold situation.
So Dad's in business. Can I ask what industry he's in?
Yeah, he owns a financial advising firm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of entrepreneurial spirit in the family already.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've left school at 17, started uni, decided to drop it because the business is taking off. We should totally talk about the business. Tell us what it's called and what it does.
Okay, so the business, it's called Your Closet, and essentially it's a online store where women can rent high-end designer dresses for a fraction of the retail price.
Okay, so high-end dresses, what kind of dresses?
Dresses for formals, weddings, birthday celebrations. The races is a really big one, and from designers like Camilla, Alex Perry, Nicholas, Camilla and Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the idea?
So I came up with the idea, I was 17, about to go to my Year 12 formal, and I was lucky enough to be invited to a few others as well. And
oh, you were like the girl on demand.
Not really. I think I was just, had friends that all had boyfriends and things, so it was just it worked out like that. But yeah, so I had all these dresses to buy, and I was driving Mum and Dad crazy.
And if you like high-end, you're not going to just take the cheap dress. You have to have the nice dress.
Cheap. I don't think any formal dresses are that inexpensive. They're all hundreds of dollars. It's rare to find a formal dress for under $100. So they're all in the hundreds of dollars. And when you need 2 or 3, it can get really expensive, especially when you're only really going to wear it once. And I knew once I had all the photos in the dresses and I'd had a great night in the dress, I wouldn't feel special in it again, and I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing it again. So it got me thinking about the idea of swapping dresses and renting dresses, and then the idea evolved, and I looked overseas, and it was doing really well in America and Europe, but there wasn't a service in Australia.
Not one.
There were services that did dress renting, but it wasn't the labels that I would aspire to wear. I knew my friends would like wearing. So I got thinking about what if you could rent all these really cool Australian designers for a fraction of the retail price.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, we have young entrepreneurs that watch the show, and we have other business people just seeking inspiration, and they're often really interested in just how you got started. So it sounds like you did some research and you saw that they didn't have the same dresses and saw a bit of a niche. But like, what were the other early steps in setting up the business?
Yeah, so I guess I did a lot of like market research in what was happening in Australia and then what was happening overseas, particularly America. And then I did a list of the designers, like everything I would need. So the list of designers, logistics, like operations of the business. And I initially got started with my designers because I realized if I didn't have dresses, I wouldn't have a business. So the first designer I approached was Alex Perry, which was like...
Just go straight to the top.
Yes, straight to the top, which probably wasn't a good decision on reflection now, but it actually worked really well. Like he was really liked the idea, and so they signed up. So
you went to him, or
they
some
had
of his
like a
people?
sales team.
Okay.
That deal with all of like their sales and marketing.
And how did you even stalk them or get in contact?
So I found them, I just Googled them and found the agency they used, and then called them and then followed up with a few emails and things. I think it was good over email because I would speak to Dad, learning how to sound professional because I was really just 17 in my bedroom.
And you didn't mention the age, you just with this person
no.
contacting them. Yeah.
I didn't want to think I was unlegit or just young and inexperienced, which I was. But yeah, so it actually they liked the idea and they liked the concept and the way we were going to approach it and how we were going to enter the market. So they signed up and we went from there.
Okay. So in what sort of time frame did you actually get some runs on the board? How many designers did you sign up over what time frame, and when did you do your first sales?
Yeah, so it's really slow. So in terms of how you order fashion, you order it 4 to 5 months in advance. So once I had these designers on, it was kind of good. I had 3 or 4 on, and then I knew I had 4 or 5 months to create the website, plan the logistics, everything, all of those, which was kind of good because I had a deadline. I didn't want all of this stock sitting here with no way of renting it out. But
so they literally ship it to you and you've got to store it somewhere though.
Yeah.
So you're surrounded by dresses, which must be awful for someone like you.
Yes, it was quite fun. It was a bit of a nightmare for my parents because there was dresses all over our house. It literally took over our house. It's a few hundred dresses. So I think they're happy now that we've finally got an office. But
we should mention too where you live, where are you located?
I live in Bag Isle Heights, so it's in Sydney's northern beaches.
Okay.
Near the beach,
yeah,
which is good.
But you have an office now. When did you move the dresses out of Mum and Dad's place?
Yeah, we moved the dresses out in January of this year.
Okay, so they had to put up with that for a few years.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sure they've got more and more. I've just got visions of there being dresses on the breakfast table and in the bathroom.
I even took over my sister's bedroom because she moved out, and then we had the office, the cellar. We have a big garage.
Okay. And
then I ordered 10,000 boxes for our shipping, and I think that's when I was we have no space, so I'm going to need an office, and I wanted we needed an office.
Yeah.
And then we launched the business, the website went live, and I didn't even tell my parents that it went live. It was just, I just did it and was testing things out.
You build the website yourself or get some help?
No, I tried to build it myself, but because I realised we needed quite a few custom features, the calendar booking and the way it's rented, it's not traditional retail. I enlisted the help of a web developer. But we got sales through the first 2 days, which I wasn't expecting because when things would sell out in store, so the Alex Perry store, things would sell out, and then Alex Perry was actually directing customers to the Your Closet website because we were the only ones that still had it because we don't actually sell them. And so we had a few orders through, and I wasn't sure if they were real or not because I'm how would they know about my website because I didn't know what was happening. And then I hadn't set up my logistics properly, so I literally had to drive around Sydney dropping off these boxes, which wasn't that fun, but it was really exciting for some initial traction before.
And I bet they all thought you were the girl delivering, not the girl who created it, did they?
Yeah.
Was there any comments like that?
Yeah, well, they just assumed I was dropping it off or doing the run today, but I think they all knew it was quite an early business because they were quite the website was obviously really clunky and things like that. But yeah.
But they were grateful to have their hands on that dress.
Yeah, they were really excited, and it was really cool to see the concept and why people were renting and have a little discussion with them.
Get some user feedback.
Yeah, it was really good. It
Fantastic.
actually turned out well.
So you got some early sales, but you would have had some setup costs, and you've got logistics issues and things like that. So how did you even fund it initially? Did you get help from Mum and Dad? Had you had savings? Was the credit card maxed? What'd you do?
Yeah, so from the beginning, I got a loan from my parents.
Okay.
Which really helped.
Yep.
And then was able to pay that back. pretty quickly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They'd be pleased with that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we'll stop right there because there's so much more to tell in this girl's story. So we'll have a break, but don't go away. Come back and hear more about Briella and how she's just grown the business exponentially since then and what exciting plans she's got in store for the future as well. Hello and welcome back to the Young Entrepreneur Show. I'm your host, Yvette Adams. Today we're talking to an amazing young woman, Briella Brown, who started Your Closet, which literally rents out dresses to people who need them for formals, race days and other special occasions. So Briella, we've talked about the early stages of setting up your business, and that was when you were 17 and you're now 21. So 4 years in, lots of other cool stuff has happened. Tell us about moving into the office and really feeling, when did you feel like you're really in business?
Yeah, I guess that was like a really big step, like moving into the office. It was nice to have everything laid out and like leaving. I love driving away from my home, like in the.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.